What's up, my YouTube family? It's your boy Berto checking in with another video, man. Hope everybody's doing wonderful today. I'm doing great. So it's a few things I want to talk about. Dealing with young Pharaoh. If you guys don't know, young Pharaoh is a conspiracy theorist person. He brings a lot to the table. He's done a lot for the conspiracy community. But I told people a long time ago that he sold out. He sold out. And I've been telling people that for like the past year that young Pharaoh is a sellout. He was bought and paid for by the Republican Party and some of the elites. If you guys don't know, he started making a lot of money. His whole life changed from doing stuff like this. But I had been trying to expose him and tell people that he was leading people down a path of destruction. A path of destruction. And after a while, he stopped. He was trying to get out of that. People started noticing that he was controlled and his content changed and he was being biased towards a certain group of people. And ever since people started catching on, he tried to change his ways, and basically he went against what the people that were sponsoring him and putting money in his pocket, basically paying him to campaign what they want him to campaign, and they start turning on him. So now, if you guys don't know, you can't find young Pharaoh's Instagram or his YouTube pages because they've been taken down. That's what happens when you're bought and paid for it and you don't do exactly what they want you to do. When you start switching up and trying to do other things to win your fans back, when you've been doing for the past few years, you've been doing controlled content that's been monitored by CIA type people, the Republican Party, you see everything starts changing. The game changed on him. And people were catching on. A lot of people were exposing him for being a fraud and being so politically tied to the Republican Party to where it makes no sense. If you're going to be a conspiracy theorist, you already know the government, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, they do not care about us. They only care about themselves. They pin us against each other. They get us to fight. You got Trump supporters, Biden supporters, all clashing at each other, but they keeping us divided, and this is what they want. Young Pharaoh was thrashing one party while promoting another party, and people start to notice that he wouldn't call certain people out, or certain political figures mainly to the Republican Party. He would not call them on anything they did. He wouldn't expose anything they did, but anytime it was a Democrat, he was always exposing them. And when you're a conspiracy theorist, you have to expose both sides. You can't pick a party or pick a side. You can't talk about Democrats and not talk about Republicans. You can't talk about Republicans and not talk about Democrats. People will start to figure you out, and that's what happened with him. People start figuring out he got exposed. He tried to turn back the hands of time and change his content up. But you remember, when you sign these contracts and you give your soul away, you don't control anything. Now he's banned from YouTube. He's banned from Instagram. He has neither one. And it doesn't matter what he tells you. Those are facts. Those are facts. This man's whole life changed from exposing and telling the world what's really going on out here, and then he just completely changed his content once they offered him that check. And this is controlled. It's a lot of people like this. They're controlled. Their content's not the same anymore. And they're not doing it for their subscribers. They're doing it for a check. You have to continue exposing people. He got exposed. We know he's a sellout. I really feel like he's just a CIA agent now at this point, a paid CIA agent that's working for a political party. He's exposing stuff. He has information that is only way you can get this information, this leaked information, if you have some kind of connect with somebody high up in. He does have a lot of connection with a lot of high-end Republicans. That's why he was supposed to speak at the Republican PAC thing, PAC or whatever it's called, SPAC or whatever it's called. He was supposed to speak at that convention, but because he said something about Jews, they took him off. And everything is controlled by a certain group of people, and some things you cannot speak on. He did that. He ended up getting kicked off of that, and ever since then things have been going downhill. And that shows you how easy these parties can switch on you, and they can turn you in from a rising star to treating you like nothing. And that's exactly what happened to him. He got exposed. The party didn't like the route he was trying to go to maintain his subscribers, and like I said, when you sign these contracts, they're gonna make you or they're gonna break you. And right now, he's going through it, guys. I'm telling you, he's being exposed for being a fraud, being bought and paid for. I've been telling people this for the longest. Don't be led by the blind. When people start changing who they really were, then you know it's an issue. You gotta maintain the same person. You can't sell out. You cannot preach something and don't back it up. And I've been telling people this for a long time, but now people are starting to understand where I'm coming from. You can't follow everybody. A lot of these conspiracy theorists are just doing it for a paycheck. They may not be monetized by YouTube, but they're getting a check from somebody else. And when you see their content start going one-sided, it doesn't matter what they're talking about, whether they don't want to, they're getting a check from the music industry, so they don't talk about rappers and stuff, but they talk about athletes. You know somebody is buying and paying for them. The bias shows. And young Pharaoh's one of the first people I really caught on to, and I hate it because he was doing a lot of research, but now research is getting handed to him. He's leaking stories. You guys don't know, this guy's getting paid to leak stories about certain politicians. That is what they do. They pay him to leak a story. They give him information that not a lot of people even know about. You got to be a high-ranking official to know about. He leaks these stories out and exposes these things. He has thousands of followers. Guess what they do? They talk about it, they share it, and then it blows up, hits the news, and now this person's reputation is going downhill. This is how the industry goes. It happens with a lot of conspiracy theorists. They're using people for paychecks. They're doing a lot of things. They're manipulating them, but these conspiracy theorists are doing it for money. And that's why you have to stay true to yourself. Hate to say it, guys, but young Pharaoh's a fraud. And I continue to say this. I've been saying this for a while. But now that his party is gone against him, he has no platform. And I'm pretty sure he's doing whatever he can to get it back. But do not allow him to fool you guys anymore. He should have stayed true to himself and things wouldn't have went like this. But once you take that check, that's your career. Berto Conspiracy Files checking out.